Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about all of these hot, new and upcoming makeup releases and discussing whether we really need any of them, whether any of them are tickling our pickles or whether we will survive without them. So without further ado, let's get started. Thank you so much to my son's football tournament for this atrocity. I also want to formally apologise if you can hear my fan. I don't know if you can or not until I watch the footage back, and even then I don't know if what I hear is what you hear. Everyone always comments on the tweety birds that live in my hedge, and I don't know what to tell you. I have tuned them out. I don't notice them at all, but you guys can really hear them, so I don't know if you can hear it or not. But if I turn it off, I'll start immediately sweating profusely, so it's essential, unfortunately. So kicking us off, Dior will not let us rest. They won't leave our wallets alone. They won't give us a moment's peace in 2025. They're coming in hot again out the gates with a plethora of more new releases. If it's not new releases, it's reformulations. What is going on over there? So this time we have some Forever Blush Soft. Let me zoom in with my eyeballs. Forever Blush Soft Filters. So these, I imagine, they're like the Glow Maximizers, but matte. They are the exact same packaging, liquid blush, but with a more matte finish. So it looks like we have at least 5 shades. If this is all the shades, I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes we get different shades in different countries, but we have at least 5 shades that are available. Personally speaking, these don't excite me. I'm much more of a glow maximizer than I am a blush soft filter kind of girl. If my YouTube channel did not exist, I would be passing on these because I'm sure they'll be lovely, and I do think we have a nice balance of shades here. I think maybe Charlotte Tilbury could have taken a leaf out of Dior's book when it came to her shade offering for her blush sticks. Would I like more and some neutrals? Yes, but we do kind of have something for everybody here. We've got like a mauve, we've got a plum, we've got a coral, we've got a pink, we've got a peach. So we've kind of ticked almost every box instead of everything just being pink. So I think we've got nice, natural, beautiful shades to work with here. And I'm sure, I just don't think Dior fluff this type of product very often. I don't think this will be a terrible product. I can't see them allowing it. I just think their cheek products, this range of products that they've been coming out with, all of their liquid blushes and things like that, their luminizers, they've just been smashing. Everything has been really solid this year. I don't see these being a flop. They're just not personally for me, but if you want a review of them, let me know, because my personal feelings aside, you guys come first. I gotta give the people what they want. So if you want me to take one for the team and try these, let me know in the comment section down below. They look interesting. They look like something that maybe Dior is slightly missing from their line as far as the matte finishes go, especially if these are super long wearing. They are quite different to the other liquid and stick blushes they've brought out just because of that very different finish. They're just not personally my cup of tea. Next up, let's talk about Farah Homedi's Bronzer Compact. So this is a new at Sephora brand, I believe. I'm not really down with the kids, okay? I don't know what is new at Sephora, because although we now do have, in theory, on paper, Sephora in the UK, it's very different, okay? Very different brands, very different way of it working. It's really not the same thing as in the US. So I'm not 100% sure how long this brand has been around or how long since it arrived at Sephora, and whether or not this is a brand new bronzer or it's just new at Sephora. I'm not 100% sure. You tell me, okay? I beg you. But spoiler alert, I already own this, and in fact, I'm wearing it today, okay? I saw my friend Tanya B. Wells talking about this bronzer. She posted it, I think, on her stories, like she posted a swatch perhaps, and I instantly went looking for it. I wasn't sure I'd be able to get it here, but their website does ship to the UK and it arrives pretty quickly, all in one piece. And it's everything Tanya told me it would be. It's stunning. Such a natural, flawless bronzer. It's very strange because I initially just started whacking it on willy-nilly, and I thought it was a cream, but I've since read it's like a powder with a cream-like feel. Let me tell you, they fooled me, okay? I was fooled. I was fully applying this with like a sponge and like a liquid foundation brush for several days before I started reading about it. Just sometimes do things backwards. We don't know why. And then I found out it was actually a powder, and I was shook to my core, okay? It fully feels and acts like a cream, but is exceptionally easy to use. So natural. I got the second shade, I believe, Lumen. That sounds wrong, but I think it's right. And I love it. I love it so much. I love the component. I love the packaging, everything about it. So this is a yes, I have picked this up. Of course, do you need another bronzer? Only you can answer that question. I suspect if you had to twist my arm and force me against my will to guess, I'd say no. I doubt it. You probably have the Dior bronzers. Maybe you've got an old Hoola lying around the place. You probably have Charlotte Tilbury bronzers. You've probably got a Tom Ford bronzer, a Victoria Beckham one. Have you got, I don't know, even a MAC bronzer, Nars? Have you got multiple Hourglass palettes with bronzers in? I see you. So the answer is no, is what I'm saying. You don't need one. If you were in the market to try a new one, I think this is excellent. It's so natural, so easy to use. I love the undertones. It's expensive, okay? The reasons it's so expensive, a few of them: very, very high level, luxurious, heavyweight packaging, and quite unique texture and formula. So I already ran out straight immediately to get one of these. I already own it. I will be doing a demo. It will be in a new Makeup and Movies coming to you very, very soon. Next up, this is interesting, isn't it? Patrick Ta has already reformulated their biggest flop so far to date, I would say, for their whole brand, their highlighter duos. These creme and powder light reflecting translucent highlighter duos, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think ever came here to the UK. That's how quickly they realised something was amiss. Something had gone awry, okay? I have not seen one single good, glowing, pardon the pun, review of these highlighters ever. I don't think I've seen anyone use them other than their initial review. I can't tell you what was so badly wrong with these, because they don't think they ever released here. And I was really sad because they looked, as far as his swatches and his videos using them, they looked right up my street. Really gorgeous glass skin, glossy highlighters, a cream and a powder, layered beautifully, really great range of shades for really good inclusivity across the highlighter range. However, what I saw being the problem is a lot of like they were very, I hate to use the word, but you know the word. They seemed a little too sticky, a little too wet, if you don't mind me saying so. They were almost like putty, like the cream side, and it was like, you know, you touched it in a huge dent. There was strange things going on, strange things were amiss. Perhaps someone should have called Ghostbusters. I don't know what went wrong, but I will say this. Let's look up how long ago these actually came out. Okay, so it was longer than I thought, like most things. Over a year ago. I literally would have guessed 6 months, but it's been a year, so fair enough, it's longer than I thought. Here's what this whole situation made me feel. Very, very grateful for Lisa Eldridge, okay? Lisa, who, you know, had to abort her entire holiday collection one year because she was not happy with it. It was not what she wanted to put out, and so she said it's not ready. It was going to be her holiday collection. She's not happy to put it out, and therefore she scrapped it. And she told us that's what happened. Her liquid concealers that we've literally been peer pressuring this woman to give us now for like a year and longer, she continues to work on perfect because, you know, she's saying it's really, really hard. She wants it to be perfect. She keeps going back and tweaking, and it's taking longer than she would like it to. And then there's brands like this. They must have known that these were not working, that these were not doing what they should have done. And that must have been a very expensive mistake, but they put them out anyway, knowing, because I don't believe they could have been oblivious to the issues. They must have known. Every single person who tried these had the same issues, had the same problems with it, and I don't understand why it was ever put out. It's just, a lot of people wasted their money on it. And it affects, you know, our trust of a brand. So I'm glad that they have rectified the mistake and they've realised they aren't good enough. They're not in line with the quality we want our brand being represented by, and they're reformulating them. But what about all the people who already bought them? You shouldn't have put them out in the first place. You knew that there was something wrong. That was a big mistake, and I'm glad we're rectifying it, but next time, wait until you know it's good before putting it out, and everyone's happy, everyone's a winner, okay? So who knows? I'm hoping we get these now in the UK, because I think probably part of the reason we didn't get them is because they're already realising immediately they weren't doing well, there was a problem. So that's probably why it didn't roll out quite as quickly here as it usually does with their products. So I'm willing to give these, I mean, not a second try for me, a first try. Hopefully they are what I wanted and expected from the first lot. But I want to tell you, that whole saga has definitely dented like my trust and faith in that brand, because I don't like it when brands put out something they know is not good and not going to work and not be what we want it to be and do what we want it to do. So that is a mark, but you know, it's 3 strikes. So that's your first one, Patrick Tar. Next up, Nars. These are apparently an Asia exclusive blush shade range extension. That was the worst line of words in a sentence I think I've ever uttered, and that's saying something. So Nars are apparently releasing 7 Asia exclusive colours. Some of these look familiar to anyone else? I don't know. We've had a lot of our favourite Nars blushes taken cruelly from our clutches recently. Madly. Give it back. That is like one of the greatest neutral everyday blush shades ever. They took it away and they've never given it back. And I don't understand it, because I feel like that was their most popular shade other than, you know, the one. Which I feel actually, I wonder if Nars sort of thinks is more popular than it is. I don't know. Tell me the sales numbers. But I feel like if Nars's Madly and Orgasm were next to each other in a shop, I feel like more people would be drawn to Madly. I don't know. Is that just me? You tell me. But these shades look stunning. One of them very much reminds me, 958 reminds me of Tempted, my personal favourite blush from Nars. And then Madly as well, 957. Certainly looks very similar to Madly, and I feel like Nars made big mistakes in the shades that they discontinued, and then they're giving them as an Asian exclusive. No thank you, we want them to. Why are you doing this? My hope here, the reason why I'm talking about these, even though they probably aren't going to be available to me, is because I want them to be. So let's start a petition, is what I'm saying. My hope is a lot of brands do like an Asia first release, test the waters, see what's popular, see how things sell, and then they roll them out. So I'm hoping that's what's going on here, and we may get these, because a lot of these I feel are way prettier blushes that would be much more popular here than a lot of the other shades that they offer. Obviously the range is typically very light because it's an Asia exclusive, but we need these shades too, okay? Next up, we've got this Natasha Denona Hy-Sculpt Serum Infused Liquid Bronzer. I'm just going to be straight up with you and tell you I haven't purchased this, and I don't know why really. Because it's a new release. Typically I do try and review as many new releases as possible that I think you guys will be interested in. I saw this while I was away. I took my daughter to her new school for her settling in days. So I wasn't at home, but it's not like I didn't have internet access. I saw it drop, but I just literally had zero interest in this straight off of the bat. And I don't know if it's just because a liquid bronzer, it just doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. Am I going to pump that on my face and just have so much bronzer just flying about the place? Or am I going to put that on my hand and use a brush or a sponge to apply it and then it's on my hand? Or am I putting this on a palette? It just seems a lot of work for a bronzer. Is that just me? I am a very lazy person when it comes to my makeup, and I also hate makeup in any way coming into contact with my hands or my fingers. I don't like touching stuff, and I don't like putting stuff on my hand. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just giving you my truth. So there's a few things here. I would much rather have a compact powder, if possible, and just whack it on with a brush than whatever I'm going to have to do with this stuff. I do understand that this could give you more options. You know, you could mix it with foundation if you wanted to bronze up the skin. You could mix it with moisturizer and give yourself a bit of a, you know, just a bit of a tint of a bronzed effect. But that's not what I want bronzer for. So this is an immediate no for me. I just feel like this is unnecessarily annoying for a bronzer format, and I don't want it, that's what I'm saying. I will say the packaging looks delightful. I love that we've got 7 shades. I think the undertones look nice and natural. It's just, again, it's not you, it's me. I can't get involved in this, okay? Next up, we have a little sneaky peek at Givenchy's autumn or fall collection. So we have some of their marble lip balms, boring, and then we have one of their Prisma Libre highlighters, which is described as a pale white, terrifying, and peach champagne, delightful colours. Here's the thing, the lip balms, I don't need those, okay? That's just, I mean, they do look like lovely autumnal shades, sure. Do I need them? No. I do love this packaging. It reminds me of Dior's Denim Addict component, is what I'm trying to grasp at. The I can't, a loose powder. Why is everyone making messy things? Who told you we wanted a mess of makeup everywhere? Who told you we wanted makeup on our clothes? Who told you we wanted things that drip and fly everywhere when there's an option for that not to be the case? A loose powder that is sparkly. No, I just know that's going to be all over my desk. It's going to be on my top. It's going to be on my dock within 2 minutes of that arriving in my house. I can't, this is another product I can't get on board with. I couldn't get on board with the loose powder blushes from Givenchy, and I can't get on board with this even more so because there's like a lot of sparkle and shimmer in here. I just see it. I can see it in my mind's eye, just flying through the air, breathing it in, inhaling it. It's going to be everywhere. And a lot of you lie to me about these products and tell me they're not messy. I don't, why are you lying to me? They can't not be, okay? Immediately no. The packaging looks divine. I almost would like to get on board with this, but I just can't. I just know it's going to really annoy me and be messy, and I can't. Next up, in a rare, unfortunate timing event, well, not so much, Tarte have released some new cream blush stick and lip tints. What do these remind you of? Yes, exactly. I already have these from Charlotte Tilbury, and again, we've gone down the lip and cheek road, which you guys know I believe to be lies and propaganda that I won't fall for. So here we have, I will say, a superior shade range from Tarte. They've got, you know, more shades. They're kind of ticking more bases. We've got plums, raspberry, pink, coral, a beige, a peach. We've got a much better shade range offering. But again, you know, I spoke recently about brands that for some reason I see their new releases. And if this was, I mean, as we know, if this had been a Charlotte Tilbury launch or a Natasha Denona, a Lisa Eldridge, a Nars launch, one moment, I would undoubtedly have been diving headfirst into them. And I was with the Charlotte Tilbury, even though the shades were a little uninspiring for me, I was still very excited to try that type of product from Charlotte Tilbury. When I see it from Tarte, there's one, we've got the issue that it's right off the back of those Charlotte Tilbury, so I feel like I just bought these, but from a brand I love more. But also just Tarte releases don't excite me anymore. And there's no specific reason that I can pinpoint why it's like, oh, Tarte, not interested. And I know that's very unfair, but there's something that doesn't grab me about a Tarte release, and these are very much the same. I have tried a few things from Tarte and perhaps never really properly loved anything, so maybe that's why. Maybe they too reached the 3 strikes and they were out of here, is what I'm saying. So this is an easy pass for me. I don't need these. I've just had the Charlotte Tilbury ones, which I love. We've also just had the Dior ones, which I love, and those are 2 brands that I just love a bit more than I do Tarte. Speaking of Dior, we have some upcoming, again for autumn, eyeshadow palettes with a Miss Dior theme, which is interesting. This feels very youthful for Dior. Dior typically is quite a sort of sophisticated, grown-ups luxury brand, I feel. This definitely feels a bit younger, a bit more fun, just a bit more youthful. I'd say in every way, with the embossing, with those little pouches there, that sort of almost that graffiti style, the presentation, the color stories as well. Everything feels a little more youthful, which is interesting. I hope they're not going to go down a super targeting a younger audience and TikTok crowd route, which I fear I see Charlotte Tilbury doing, which terrifies me because that is my Shayla. But I really don't like this packaging. It feels very off-brand for Dior. It's really, I don't want to use the C word, not that one. I mean, cheapening. I hate that. Feels really jarring, that word to me, but it does feel, this image here of these lipsticks, does that look like Dior to you? It doesn't to me. It feels like very, like I said, very youthful, very young, very almost like teenage makeup. It doesn't appeal to me at all. I will say these Dior Addict shades, if these are new shades, I will be very much on board with them. I'm not convinced they are. I'm just looking at these numbers. Some of them look familiar to me, so I don't know if these are new shades, but you know how much I love the Dior Addicts. I'm wearing one right now. But this packaging, I don't like it at all. The eyeshadows aren't really appealing to me either. They look very much like previously done colour stories we've seen before. But I am a little worried. I hope this is just like a one-off younger collection as opposed to like the direction that Dior is going in, because old ladies like makeup too, okay? Next up, something that's making me very nervous is Shiseido's reformulating. See, so nervous, can't even say the word. Shiseido's reformulation of their Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. How dare you? We were rooting for you. Why would you do this? What was the reason? Because this is an exceptionally good foundation. I have loved this foundation. It's fallen out of like my top 5 in some part down to the self-refreshing radiant lifting foundation that they released that I do, that edges the Synchro Skin for me. But this is an exceptional foundation. The only reason it's not in my like top 5, I would say, is because it is a more matte foundation than my go-to favorites. I love the more glow the better for foundation, you know me. So the original self-refreshing is flawless. It's so stunning. It wears really well, gorgeous coverage. I find Shiseido's undertones for my olive undertone is like some of the most realistic, spot on undertones of any brand there is. This foundation is amazing. So why did we do this? I don't know. I feel like this is a lot of people's holy grail foundations. So I'm scared for us all, to be honest. I don't know how they could have improved it. What it says is that it is now climate adaptive. Never known that to be an option before, but now it is. Great. So it says it will help to resist oil motion. What? What do you mean? It resists motion? Are we not going to be able to move our face like Botox? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Motion, heat and humidity while protecting skin from environmental stresses. So Some of this sounds good. Some of this sounds like it's going to wear longer and hold up, and it's not going to crease. It's not going to settle into lines. It's going to resist oil and keep that at bay. It's not going to, you know, melt down in humidity. But I feel like the original foundation was pretty good at doing all of that anyway. So that makes me nervous as to whether it's going to be, you know, heavier. It's going to be more matte, more sort of flat, because it's coping or trying to cope with those extra wear challenges. I don't know. It also sounds like we've got some more skincare ingredients in here. It claims to be water resistant, transfer resistant, crease resistant. It's fragrance free, alcohol free. But again, a lot of this the original one had, so I don't really fully know why we did this. But I'm scared. Let me know if you want a review, if you want a side by side of this versus the original. So often reformulations are for the worse for so many people. If you already love this, if you already love a product and then it gets reformulated, more often than not, you'd prefer the original, wouldn't you? So I hate this for us. I don't need this. I wouldn't purchase this for my own personal use, because the original, like I said, while I appreciate it, I think it's an excellent foundation, it's not my personal preference for a foundation. But if you want a review, if you want a comparison, if you want me to let you know what the difference is, because I do know this foundation very well, let me know. Next up, we have a new collection from Gucci. We have 2 blushes and a lipstick, which is one of their rouge, like balm lipsticks. So that's their little collection for summer. What I will say is none of this is new particularly. It's just the flowers on the front. So these 2 blush shades, don't be fooled, these are existing shades, Silky Rose and Bright Coral. I own Bright Coral. I put it on today just because I wanted to remind myself of whether I like it or not. I do like it. I love this formula. This is a shade that I like. It's not my favorite, but it is a shade that I like. And I didn't purchase Silky Rose ever, because that's not typically a shade that's too pink for me. Let's be very real. So do I need to buy another coral blush because it now has flowers on the front instead of stars? I don't think so. Do I need to buy Silky Rose when I didn't initially want that shade because it's now got flowers on the front instead of stars? No, again, no, and neither do you, okay? This lipstick shade, the limited edition one, is in the shade They Met in Argentina, which is an existing shade from Gucci in other formulas, but I can't find that shade in this formula. So I don't know, you tell me, is this brand new in this formula? I know the shade is not new. They do have it in their satin formula, and I think their matte formula as well, but has it been previously available in this formula? I can't find it. So there's potential that that's like the most new thing. I picked up the lipstick because I don't own any of that formula. I've never tried it, and it is one that you guys keep telling me I need to try. So I thought this was a good opportunity for me to try something, and I do really love the look of that shade. It looks really pretty and wearable for summer. So I thought I'll try that out, but I do not need blushes that I already own or have already chosen to pass on, because there's flowers on the front of the component when normally it's stars. And neither do you, okay? Don't make me come down there. And don't fall for this. Brands do this so often. They do these limited edition collections in this elevated packaging, but it is products they already have out there. And so many times people don't check the names and you don't realise you're buying something you already owned. And makes me furious. Next up, we have some new Master Mattes long wearing cream eyeshadows from Makeup by Mario. Another brand that I'm a little on the fence about. Like, some products I've liked, a lot I haven't. So I am not overly excited about these. I have, of course, the Lisa Eldridge ones, which are unbeatable. I do not expect these to be as good as the Lisa Eldridge. I certainly don't think they can possibly be any better, because those are phenomenal. He has got a great range of shades here. We've got some really lovely shades that could be a good eye primer, and then they've got some more colourful ones, some more intense shades, really nice range for different skin tones. So I think this is a great product, really innovative, something that looks quick and easy to use. And I find the Lisa Eldridge ones really amazing at filling a gap that I didn't have, something I didn't own. Amazing for mature lids, crepier, eyelid texture. They're so smooth, they don't crease and they don't budge. Like I said, I don't expect these to be as good as the Lisa Eldridge ones. And do I personally need these? No, because I have my Lisa Eldridge, which I'm very, very happy with. But these are an excellent product, so I will 100% give these a try as long as they arrive here in due course, because they're due to launch tomorrow or today. I think the day this video goes up on the 2nd of July, these are launching. If they launch here at the same time, I will try these because I think it's really good to have more options and to see which is better. Is there a winner? Maybe we could do a side by side and see which I like the most. But I can't say I'm mega excited about it. You know, I already have the Lisa ones. I don't need these. Will I try them out for you? Yes, of course, if you want me to. Don't want to force it down your neck or anything. But I'll say I wasn't excited about the Lisa Eldridge ones either. I didn't know I needed those until I used them and realised they were what I'd been missing my entire life. So I guess what I'm saying is I have low expectations of these being like wowing me, but I'm willing to try first, decide after, which is, you know, not something I'm great at. And finally, let's talk about this Charlotte Tilbury storm of releases that has been coming and shows no signs of slowing down, and I'm the last person who's going to complain about it because, as you guys know, that's one of my favourite brands. So first up we have the Unreal Lips Healthy Glow Nectar Oils. So these are available in 6 shades and they're all very fruity themed shades. We've got watermelon, vanilla, coconut cherry, peach and candy fig. These look delightful. I love Charlotte Tilbury's lip oil, but it did have a packaging issue. Like mine started off fine, I think, but then it becomes very hard to squeeze the product out and quite annoying. But it does feel lovely on the lips. So I think this is kind of a sort of reformulation or relaunch and shade extension range with an upgrade of packaging to make them easier to use by the looks of it. I really like the original, but like I said, the packaging did let it down. So now we've got these in a gorgeous range of shades. 100%, of course, I'll be trying these. I'm much more excited about Charlotte Tilbury than I am some of the brands we've spoken about previously. The brand just, it ticks all my boxes. It tickles my pickle. I see products from them and I just think that's for me. You know how brands just are for you sometimes. Charlotte Tilbury is for me, and these look great like handbag products. I kind of wish they launched a bit earlier in the year. It feels a little like we almost missed the mark with these. Like these probably would have been a better spring launch. Does anyone think? Maybe March? I don't know, but yes, immediately yes. And finally, let's take a look at these new And finally, thanks so much to my wonderful friend Tavia on Instagram, who has the tea on these upcoming Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. We don't have the full information about these lipsticks. I don't have the name of the formula or any of the information about it yet because these are like sneak peeks, but there is some potentially bad news when it comes to these. So these look exactly like her Limitless Lucky Lips, which I love. I think they've been discontinued. They sort of, again, one of the many lip products from Charlotte Tilbury that are amazing. They disappeared off the face of the earth with no explanation known to man. I loved those. They were completely like bulletproof matte lipsticks, bullet lipsticks that dried down. So they sort of set, but they weren't super drying. They were like creamy and they would make it through a whole meal without smudging or disappearing from your lips. They were amazing. They had the skinny bullet with, I think, like hearts on. I love them. I have many of them. I wear them frequently still now. One of my all-time favorite matte bullet lipsticks. These look very reminiscent of those, that sort of almost like a mousse-like texture, very velvety appearance or finish on the lips. These look exactly like that. This packaging looks stunning and it's skinnier, which again makes me feel like it's those, or a very similar product to those Limitless Lucky Lips, but with maybe an upgrading packaging and perhaps a different formula altogether. We just don't know yet. Stunning shade range. The bad news here is no one's seems to be fully clear where these are launching and when. So apparently someone in the US has been told by a PR contact that these aren't coming to the US and that perhaps these are an Asia exclusive. I will eat my hat. I'm not wearing one today, but I will put one on and eat it if these don't come to the UK. I don't want to say the US if they specifically have said it's not coming there, but we have heard that before. I feel like brands sometimes aren't clearly communicating what they're doing, and so we get told stuff isn't coming and then it does. It's happened so many times. I don't know why a launch of a fully new formula, lipstick formula that looks, you know, so appealing, so different to anything Charlotte Tilbury currently has in her offering, with such a big colour offering, wouldn't come anywhere else other than be an Asia exclusive. I don't know why that would be. It wouldn't make sense to me. I'd be very surprised if these don't show up at some point. We just don't know when. I'd be all over these. I love the Limitless Lucky Lips. If these are anything like that, and they do look very similar to me, but they have a lot more shades, and the shades are stunning. I love so many of them. I'd be all over them, and I know a lot of us would be. I think the packaging is stunning. Is it coming here or not? We don't know, but I would put my money on yes. Just perhaps we might have a little bit of a wait. But there you have it. Those are all of the new and upcoming makeup releases that I've had my beady little eyes and all of my spies looking at over the last week or so. Please, I beg you, let me know what your thoughts are on these new releases. Are they tickling your pickle? Are they not for you? Are you on the fence? Do you want a review from me to make up your mind? Let me know all of your thoughts, please, in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.